Books.
Books.
All right, so clearly I think books are super important, and in this video I'm going to tell you about some of the top books that I've read as an entrepreneur of 15 years, some of the best ones I think for beginners, and why I think that they're super important. All right, first of all, if it's our first time meeting, nice to meet you. Welcome to the channel. My name is Brooks. I'm an entrepreneur. I believe in a life of flexibility and creating a life of adventure. And so if you're looking to make extra streams of income and you want a life of flexibility, I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad to connect with you. Let's get rolling. All right, first book on my list, Dare to Succeed. I dare to say that this is probably a book you've never heard of on any business list. Why? Because you probably haven't heard of the author, Mark Burnett. Well, who is Mark Burnett? Well, let me tell you. You've probably heard of shows that he's created. Survivor, Shark Tank. These are the brainchildren of Mark Burnett. Mark Burnett came to America. It's a beautiful rags to riches story. He came to America from England. He was a paratrooper. He came with pretty much no money in his pocket, got his first job as a nanny, tells his whole story in this book called Dare to Succeed, and I really enjoyed the book. I read it about once a year, actually. Next book I want to tell you about, I suggest you read, is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You may have heard of this book. When I was a teenager, I was actually 18 years old, in high school, I read this book. When I read the book, I realized, wow, like, this is how my brain works. This is how I think. And I think it was the first time I really understood that, like, oh, okay, I think like an entrepreneur. This is how I think. So the book breaks down the difference between assets and liabilities and the way that wealthy people choose to invest versus everyone else. And so definitely recommend it. All right, if you're getting value out of this so far, go ahead, hit me in the face. I appreciate that. It actually helps out the video and helps other people to be able to see it. So next book on the list, Eat That Frog. Sounds a little trivial, I know, but when I read this book, I was like, oh, this is actually great. So we oftentimes put off some of the things that we have to do, like the hardest things we put off, and we then end up not doing them, and then our to-do list just keeps getting longer, and we're wondering, why can't I accomplish this project or get this stuff done? Read the book, Eat That Frog. It'll help you figure out how to tackle that and go ahead and tackle some of the hardest things that you have first in the day. All right, this next book was really monumental for me. It's called Clockwork. The reason why I suggest read it is it really helps you think about your processes and the systems inside of your business and how to run your business like a well-oiled machine. So it talks about things like the queen bee role and figuring out what's the most important role inside of your business and protecting that role at all costs so that you can make sure that that gets done. It talks about ACDC, which means attract, convert, deliver, and then connect. So it really has some incredible principles, and it also talks about creating a business that you can create to run without you, which I think is one of my ultimate goals is in creating a life of flexibility, is to, you know, create things that can run on somewhat autopilot so that you can take control over what you're doing in life. All right, the next book I suggest is an oldie but a goodie. It's called The 4-Hour Workweek. Yes, the title, you got us, Tim Ferriss, smart move. It's a bit clickbaity, but the principles in this book are awesome. And the book reminds you that the world is big and that you can hire people from all over the globe, that you can live in different places across the globe, and that you can do these things and still make a business that runs and, in fact, live like what he terms the new rich, you know, that you can actually you don't have to make tons of money in order to live a rich lifestyle. And it's really insightful. It's incredible. So if you enjoyed this video, next, I would definitely watch the best business podcast that you can be listening to right now. Check it out.